Hey everybody, it's Saturday, another sneak preview of Big Stompy Robots, our new show we're going to have premiering for you shortly. I wanted to give you another look behind the scenes, how we're preparing for this show and preparing to give you the most entertaining, over-the-top, ridiculous Battletech experience to ever grace the screen. We have a lot of our performers show up today for a little bit of rehearsal and practice, and they're going to demonstrate some of their new skills and talents today. Chris, you want to join me for a minute?
Yeah, you got it, bud. Hi. So today what we before we went live is we talked to some of the actors who showed up, and we kind of gave them characters and asked where they wanted to come from, and did a little bit of light character work before we delved too deep. We gave them an opponent for the evening. We've given them an event to fight at.
Yes.
Something we're calling Mecha Mania. No reason.
Just because.
And we're going to have some of them do their final promos, like have them cut promos at each other. None of them have even gotten a chance to practice them. Yep. None of them have even got a chance to really write anything down. We just kind of like threw some random costume pieces at them and told them who their character was, which character they were going to be fighting, and how to get it done.
This is a total raw practice footage,
yep.
But we wanted to give you...
This is not going to be polished. This is not going to be good. At least when I do it, it's going to be terrible.
But we wanted to give you a sneak preview of what, the kind of thing we have in store for you.
We don't have the logos or the nameplates in yet. That'll probably be popping in front of our faces when we're giving these promos, but we're just trying to figure out kind of what we have to work with as far as play space and using this area to do this particular job, which is really such a small component of the show that we figured we'd spend at least an hour on it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Back to you, right?
Oh no, I think I can go. You want to go right into it fairly quickly?
All right, yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out how far up can we get. This is good.
Oh yeah.
All the way here. So we got some room to.
You got a couple of feet.
Everybody's got some feet. So everybody's got a couple of feet to work with, which is great. I have a problem. I admit it. All right, so the event Mecha Mania is coming up this weekend, so we're going to have some of our performers come in, and you'll be able to figure out if they're good guys or bad guys, and let us know what you think of the characters. First up, Bobby Brown is going to be giving us a small taste of one of his many characters. This one's name is
Scott Steele.
Scott Steele, and Scott Steele is going to be fighting Death's Whisper this Saturday. So let's see what they've got to say. They're very heated. I can't wait to hear what they are all about.
Listen up, everyone. This coming Saturday at Robo Wars, what was that? Mecha Mania, I am going to be fighting me some Death's Fister. I'm sorry. They're always fixing things. I'm going to be fighting me, the Death's Whisper.
Sorry, it's very funny. We didn't know there was no sound until just now.
No, we had sound for most of the time.
Okay.
We had sound back now.
Oh, good. It's back now. That's great news. All right, and of course, Mr. Steele's opponent, Death's Whisper. It's just practice. Do it however you want to do it.
It's just practice. Hi, guys. And Chris, if you're watching, I'm going to call you in just a second. Okay. I am Death's Whisper. I come from a place beyond your puny imaginations. I am here to cleanse filth like Scott Steele, with superior battlefield prowess. In order to be worthy of my pummeling, your base-level existence would need to slither out of the cesspool you cherish and join me on my level. Sadly, you cannot hope to achieve this. And I will have to roll in your putrescence to sanitize it. I will rip, tear, torch, and skewer. You better steel yourself to bear witness to the bloodbath this Saturday, Planet Hardcore, for Mechamania. Thanks.
Yeah! All right, that's Whisper. I have notes. I think it's going to be great. That was excellent. Okay, so we've got two of our first characters introduced: Scott Steele, the man of 1,000 faces, and Death's Whisper, who is clearly some kind of scary heel character. I'm a little nervous about this, Sarah.
Me too.
Bad guys are important, but I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it gave me chills.
Okay, cool.
It gave me great chills. Let's see, we've got. Oh, right, maybe it's time for the champ. I mean, I feel like we got to see the champ in action. Champ is here.
Champ. When the BFF needed to get rid of the old paradigm, they called me Kyrus Mod. KHIRUS-MOD, the modern era. Now, I come here to make sure that none of you people who pay your good money to be entertained are bored by people like my opponent coming up. They call him Oso Grande. Oso Grande. You know what I call him? Oso sucky. Oso terrible. Oso pathetic. He's coming to go up against Kyrus Mod, the MOD. Master of Disaster, Moderator of Destruction, Matador of Doom, whatever you want to call him, it all fits, and it all will happen this Saturday. The M-O-D.
Champ. Apparently that is how it's done. That is our very own champ. Man, I'm scared. I'm scared of him too.
I couldn't find the camera.
It found you eventually. That's what's important. And his opponent, the one, the only, Oso Grande!
So Monahan came to me and said, listen, I need someone to fight the champ. And I didn't start my career by saying no to any fights. So I came. I looked him up and down. And I knew that I could take chumps like him out for breakfast. Maybe with some hash browns and eggs. But this time he's going down. He says that he's the modern era. But sometimes, era's gotta end. And the bear's gonna get its claws into him. And he's gonna wish he never came into the woods of the ring.
That's amazing. Barnaby Theodore Steiner.
Right, okay. Oso Grande! That was great. The voice, everything. A+ promo, dude. Next up, Marcus playing Barnaby Theodore Steiner.
Please leave.
Yes, sir.
Hello. My name is Barnaby Theodore Steiner, and I come before you today to address a certain stigma that just because I fight and I look and I smell, and I sound better than you doesn't mean you can't cheer for me. And by the look of some of you out there, cheering for me would probably be the smartest thing you've ever done. And listen, you can boo me now, but I have your best interests in mind, because maybe if you wear my merch and cheer my name and line my pockets, then maybe, just maybe, it will finally bring some semblance of meaning into your tiny, insignificant lives. And if you think about it, and I know that's not your strong suit, so fire up those 3 remaining brain cells you have in that big dumb head of yours and listen and think, because I am basically a hero. I am offering you philanthropy. I can tell that some of you disagree with me, but you know that I am offering you the chance of a lifetime, the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of the future. And this, my friends, is a limited time offer. Because the funny thing about the future is, it's usually here before you know it. And much like me, it doesn't give a shit about your opinions. So, in summation, if you didn't catch my name, don't worry. One way or another, you'll be screaming it sooner or later. See you this Sunday, old man.
That was pretty impressive, right? I mean, who could possibly go against a top of promo like that? I mean, Barnaby Theodore Steiner, that's something else. But we do have somebody who is willing to take him on this weekend. None other than one of our classic long-term veterans. You know him as the outsider, Mr. Judas Paradigm!
Boo!
Barnaby Theodore Steiner.
I hear you talking, Barnaby.
Oh, but little Teddy Steiner, he couldn't cut it in the big leagues. No, he couldn't. He couldn't fight in the wars. So now he's decided to go to war with me. That's crazy, man! You think that you can talk with your fancy talk about your big house that you're from and the big house that you live in? Well, I'm from a big house too, Teddy. And I don't think you last a day in there, brother. So, this Saturday at Mechamania, let's see how big you're talking when I'm ripping your arms off and shoving that silver spoon down your pretty little throat.
Scary too.
The throat is pretty, by the way. It's a very pretty throat. Thank you for acknowledging.
Lovely throat.
Good.
Adam's apple.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, those were over the top with just less than 10 minutes of practice in for most of them on there.
None. No practice.
None at all for
It
some
was
of them.
great.
I mean, it was just the first time some of them have ever cut a promo in their entire lives. So I was more than impressed there. I mean, I really wanted to give you guys a chance at home to see the kind of spectacle that we want to bring to you. That's just a taste. I mean, we got a lot more performers, and there'll be a lot more characters added to it. And, you know, not to spoil anyone, but Mechamania actually isn't happening this Saturday. We just needed something to promo for, so don't get too excited. But Mechamania will be happening. You're not going to miss that one. It will come up. You're going to see a lot more of these in any given episode as individuals cut promos before matches or in response to a challenge or to challenge someone else. It's going to be an integral part of this series and what you see besides just the combat action that takes place on the table.
I'd like to hear what some of the performers thought about what they did.
I would like to hear that too. So I'm gonna come on out here. Let me get Bryce. You want to come on out here for a minute?
Big space to work in.
We do have a big space.
Who's Bryce? Someone at Also Grande. Who's this loser?
So, why don't you tell them about what inspired you for Oso Grande and what inspired you in that promo?
So when I was younger, I used to watch a show called God, I don't remember anymore. It was a kid's show with luchador masks, and I love luchador masks. I enjoy that type of style. I also really enjoy Macho Man Randy Savage, the 90s version. I don't know a whole lot about wrestling, but the giant hat, the stupid glasses, the freaking arm tassels, the spectacle that he brought always made me really, really happy. So that's what I am going to be shooting for, is over the top craziness, just without the cowboy hat.
I like it. And what'd you think of some of the other promos you saw?
I was floored. I don't know how to top some of them, and the response, the call and response from one performer to the next is going to be insane. My opponent during that match, or during the upcoming Mechamania, is going to be really hard to beat with words, so I'll have to do it in the ring. But floored me. Didn't know what to say. Called me out. Everything I was going to say is just like, well, that cool. I guess winging it from here on. Other people were good too. I really enjoyed the characterization that they all brought, and it is going to be amazing. Thanks, man. Hey guys.
Hey, we got all this room around the table. Why don't we just all hang out around the table?
Bring more people in.
Yeah, absolutely. We got tons of people.
You guys want to come on up and get all around the table here? Join in. Hey, Marcus. No, go ahead. Stay right there.
Okay.
Why don't you, what inspired you?
Inspired me? Being the best. That's what. That's lost in the character there for a moment. Let me just break out real quick. No, I huge wrestling fan. Very excited for this. Everyone, I'm very excited to smash our metal bits together.
It's
It's gonna be deeply enjoyable.
It is. It really is. It really is. Your heel character was really cool.
Oh, thank you. Christian gave me I think it was Christian gave me the inspiration for the Steiners.
Yeah.
To be a Steiner. I was like, I want to be like this kind of Weasley heel, but it fits perfectly for me that I am a Weasley heel from a known house.
So I had trouble finding my
Yeah,
spot.
super excited for that.
Thing threw me off. I didn't know what that was.
Can we get a shot at everybody?
Oh, it's a rope.
On the screen.
There we are.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey, ho. Here.
We are all here.
Wait a second. What camera? Is that camera? Or is that?
I don't
not
know.
sure
Who
what
am I
to look
pointing
at.
at?
So we've heard from Marcus and Bryce.
Yeah, we kind of talked about also what a promo is supposed to do before we got started, and it goes against. It goes through with what we were talking about establishing what the narrative is. You know, most of that storytelling happens in what we call the ring, but a lot of it happens here. Why are we fighting? So what are we doing? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? And then, this Saturday at Mechamania is the only other tag that needs to be added on there. Oh. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I typically don't like the first thing of anything that I do.
Oh yeah.
Which is probably common for everybody.
Right,
And,
yeah, agreed.
So I'm just back there throwing stuff in my head and never did this before, obviously. But so yeah, just working on stuff, trying to find a balance between different ideas that I have. I'd like to do another.
Well, good, because that's what we're gonna do after this. I think we're gonna do another round of promos. I think
Next week.
we're gonna pick different opponents this time. What do you think?
Next week or like now?
No, right now.
Oh,
we
good.
we still got 30 minutes, lady. And
I also feel inadequate because I'm the only guy with no facial hair up here. So
I'll donate.
Mine is glued on.
I don't
We'll all share. We'll all share.
So you can wear this next week if you want. So yeah, I think we're each gonna cut some more promos. So let's pick different opponents. Try and match up baby faces and heels though, because we talked about that ahead of time. Some good guys versus bad guys, if at all possible.
So to inform our fans at home, if you think you're a heel, raise your hand.
I'm kind of a jackass, not really.
There we go. I see one over there from Sarah.
We got three. We got three heels. One of whom is the heel that doesn't believe he's a heel, which is the very best. That's the very best kind of heel. That's the Seth Rollins heel. He's doing some really good work lately. So
Not quite a heel, kind of a toe.
yeah.
Getting heelish.
Heel adjacent.
Yeah. Gotta be a soul.
All right. So let's make sure we hit our camera this time. Looking at you,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, so
And
honestly, see it on the right side that keeps moving. That threw me
Yeah, I
off
don't know
because
what
I'm
that's
like,
about.
what is that? And now I thought it was blocking
Oh,
me, so I
the
moved.
new HDT thing?
Yep, it's not blocking you. It's just appears on the screen.
Right,
Don't worry
because
about
it's
it.
blocking my face, and so I moved over
I
to
just see
try
this
to
moving.
avoid it.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
because
what
it was
is?
going.
Yep,
that-
that's
that-
just because it's the new
it's a new TV.
TV.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
That
got
makes
new
sense.
gear in the studio, folks.
Oh.
Fun.
But
So yeah, let's match up babyface heels and get some new promos going. Well, why don't we just keep it at Mechamania, or
go ahead and
or the Robo Rumble? How about we'll do it at the Robo Rumble?
Robo Rumble. So I'll distract him while you guys pair up.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Oh, and to answer your question, Scorpions, the baby faces are the good guys, heels are the bad guys.
That's exactly right. Heels.
Important information.
Heels are what we mean by a villain in the business.
You want to put the heel in the baby face.
Now, sometimes a heel can become so popular that they end up doing a face turn, and sometimes a face can be so unpopular that they end up doing a heel turn. And you can bet that you're going to see all of these things as the course of the show goes on. And it was important to us, in fact, the Steiner was chosen for that very reason. They are kind of the, I hate to say anything other, but the white knights of the Battletech universe, and it fits that we have a dirty, weaselly member of the Steiner house as a participant.
Hey, Weasley. Hey.
I think he did marvelously well about it. I mean, we just did a bit of a workshop today talking about these characters and what they're going to bring to the table and how they're going to work. And you haven't even seen half of the cast that we have in store for you for this. I mean, we got a lot of people that are going to be coming in, playing a lot of different roles. You won't see everyone in every episode, but you will see a lot of them over the course of any given season. Much like in wrestling events, we will spend a lot of the season building up to matches that you will know about well ahead of time. You're going to know what players are going to be facing off against each other 3-4 weeks out at times. You're going to know when the big pay-per-view events are going to be happening and what they're going to be about. And in addition to that on-screen bits that you'll see with the promos and with the matches taking place, we're going to give you a bit of behind the scenes too, as each of these individuals isn't just the performer you see doing promos. They have a real life outside of the ring, and you're going to get a behind the scenes look at that in every single episode as well when you see them in there. You'll see why they are playing the roles that they are playing and why they are the people that they are. They all have reasons behind it. We've got some great classic backstories coming in. I mean, one of my favorites, Death's Whisper, is really is a working mom who's just trying to pay the bills. You know, she very much plays this somewhat supernatural, terrifying entity in the arena. But outside of the arena, she takes care of her kids and has to do everything that a real mom has to do. You know, somebody has to pay the bills some way. Like Judas Paradigm, another one of our character cons who come up. He is the many year veteran in the industry, gone through different characters over the years, and has bought his way up through the company to be a major shareholder in it, which is going to be part of one of the lovely stories we're going to get to tell involved with it. Is the shareholders and the competitors shake things up within the company throughout the course of the season. Somebody just told, we're not going to be entirely beyond the planet hardcore. We chose hardcore for that one. The idea behind this group is the Battletech Fighting Federation will travel throughout the entirety of the known Battletech universe, putting on shows wherever they can put on shows. They will not stay isolated in a single planet, because much like a traveling show, you get a lot more ticket sales and sell a lot more merch when you go from planet to planet to planet and have more and more people to deal with. We're going to be set in 3061. I see that question there. So we will be during some events that are very established in canon, but we're not going to be touching on that so much. There'll be a variety of off-screen ships that we will talk about when the season launches. With a total of about 30 mechs in the Battletech Fighting Federation, they do need some drop ships and jump ships to move those things around.
Yeah, you're not getting out there without a small fleet, unfortunately.
Yes.
That's how you get around, but they are the biggest traveling company in the galaxy, so that probably helps them get around a bit.
For our lovely backstory on that, the Battletech Fighting Federation had its lovely origins in 3035.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a little bit of time in the belt and has been around for a little bit. They've gotten to travel. Our company owner, who is going to be played by Luke Evanson,
I'm so excited.
Has been in charge of the company for about the past 6 or 7 years. He took over it from his father. It's a very storied franchise with a lot of history behind it, going back as far as being on a single planet and industrial mechs being used for the competitors. The company really took off at the end of the clan invasion with the peace treaty in place. People were really interested in a lot more entertainment for a while. So the last few years in Battletech lore have been a big boost in ticket sales and in people watching these events at home and people buying the merchandise and following the stories.
So we've got people paired off again.
Are you ready to start this?
I think. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready as we'll ever be.
All right.
Get ready for some more promos, guys. Here they come.
All right. So our first matchup is between, if I remember right, it is you two, right? Oso Grande and Death's Whisper.
Ooh.
So who do you want first?
You.
Oh.
All right.
Because you said something.
Here we go with the death promo from Death's Whisper.
What's that one?
Yeah.
I do not know why you have decided to call me back to fight a bear. Osito muy pequeño. Or he will be as soon as I smash him into tiny, infantile pieces. Come watch the carnage. Robo rumble. What is this? What is this game? He will die, and you will watch Saturday.
Bringing up the creep factor.
Also, Grande! You got a lot of words to say, you whisper. But this Saturday at Robo Rumble, I'm gonna make you scream. You're gonna wish you would never face down a bear. Get ready, cause I'm gonna claw you down.
Wow. That's just 2 practice runs and they're already getting incredible. I love this. This is going to be ridiculous by the time we get to the end of the season. Wow. We might be having sound issues, guys. Are we having sound issues?
No.
Nope. No sound issues on our end. Try maybe a refresh at home then, guys. Oh yeah, you might see things like an elbow drop in the ring. You might see. Come on, you're gonna see an elbow drop in the ring. It's gonna happen. That's just all there is to it. How about another set of competitors? Who else do we have coming up?
We got the chair.
Oh, from the champ himself.
Champ.
You know, one of the greatest mysteries of the universe is how is it that Judas has stayed in this business so long? He's old, he's washed up, he's a fossil. He can barely move. He comes out, he has illusions that somebody's after him. He turns around away from the camera and he shakes. He turns around and gets all creepy. The fact is, Judas, you've been in this business way past your expiration date. That's why they brought in me, Kyrus Mod, to be the modern era and escort your broken down carcass out of the BFF. Now, you could go out gracefully, like a warrior of honor, go out and retire, maybe go out to pasture, be a stud, or you could face me, get beaten down, leave a disgrace, and allow me to just run this place and bring back what the fans want, which is more MOD. Kyrus Mod.
Wow. Some strong words from our reigning champion. That's pretty intense there. I don't know if you can really follow that up, but I mean, there's let's see what happens.
I came here with nothing. I started in this business with nothing. But I fought, and I climbed, and I bought, and I paid for. And so it should have all been mine. And it was for a short minute. You called my name. You called it, you chanted it, you shouted it from the arena. And then someone took it from me. The champion himself took it all away. Well, guess what, champ? This Sunday at the Robo Rumble, I'm taking something of yours.
Wow. I don't know who to pick in that one. That's a scary matchup. And
Christian's creepy.
yeah, it should be noted that as he alluded to, there some behind the scenes information on that one. Judas Paradigm was a former champion who did lose the belt to the MOD. It's true. That happened. Who else do we have paired up today?
Oh, well, as you might imagine, Mr. Steele is having a match this weekend at the Robo Rumble against our very own Barnaby Theodore Steiner. When Mr. Monahan told Harry that I was going to be fighting someone from the House Steiner, I didn't know how I felt about it, because I've got pretty good feelings about House Steiner in general. But then when he told me I was going to be fighting Barney Steiner, then I knew that this was the match for me. I'm going to get in there with Barry Steiner when we go to Robo Rumble, Planet Hardcore. I am going to German suplex that robot again and again and again until that robot is no more. Steal out.
I don't think I could be more excited for what we have coming for you guys. This is just amazing. This is amazing.
Barnaby Theodore Steiner. Tell it like it is.
Hello. My name is Barnaby Theodore Steiner. And against my will, I am being forced to fight career loser and hedgehog enthusiast. What was his name again?
Steve.
Doesn't matter. I, if you can't recognize from my glorious name, am from House Steiner. We do not sink ourselves as low as this. So here I am as a representative to inform you that this Robo Rumble, House Steiner is coming out on top.
Oh man!
Wow!
That's just too much.
We are going to do the worst things to that character on the show.
Oh, we are totally going to do the worst things.
It's going to be great, because you love to watch the bad guys get shit on. You know,
really do.
It's very...
And in fact, you at home who are going to be watching this as we go through our episodes are going to have a tremendous amount of impact on these matches. If you really want to, you can virtually decide the outcomes.
There's like the best thing happening down here right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I asked no questions.
I just wanted to read it.
We're trying to read chat.
Oh, you know, you can come on camera.
Yeah,
You're-
you're more than welcome.
You're
Join
on
us,
the
join
show,
us.
for God's sake. So I think that gave us a little bit more insight into how did they go for you? Did the second one, did you feel better than the first one?
You guys feel a little better about those?
Oh, yeah.
It's cool to try new stuff. Trying some things. Trying some things with my hands. Doing hand things. You see that? That
Yeah, that was good.
Notice
I like that.
I like that.
The
Yeah.
M was
It was
great.
a mod.
The
You
M was
got that? And then I boom boom. Because we're guns, we're mechs, right? And so it's in it.
I like it. I like it.
That
In
is
fact,
not my hand.
Boggy Creek Monster match fixing. That's a thing.
What?
For you at least. You will have the capability of fixing the match if you decide that you really need somebody or want somebody to win or really need somebody to lose.
Really? How do they do that?
Well, they're going to have some options here. We're going to have one of my favorite mechanics that we're introducing.
The momentum.
Momentum.
Yeah.
Momentum is going to make a difference. You're going to have an opportunity while these matches are taking place to be rooting for the person or persons that you want to win. And who you're supporting in chat live during the action will have an actual effect on the show.
Yep. Not to, I mean, you add that to the wheel of calamity, and it's just a recipe for chaos.
The what?
The Wheel of Calamity!
Yeah.
That's right. You're going to get to see the Wheel of Calamity. And yes, there is a physical Wheel of Calamity. You're going to get to see this during a show.
And the matches won't generally be fixed unless we're doing it for story purposes, and you'll know ahead of time that something is supposed to happen, even if it doesn't.
Yep, you will very much know. When Mr. Monahan calls someone into his office and tells them they need to take a fall, you're going to get to see that scene. And then you're going to get to see if maybe that mech pilot decides to not take a fall, even though the boss says so. You never know what could happen.
That never turns out badly for people.
I mean, never. Going against the boss's orders is always the greatest idea.
You could very well end up riding a stick mop all over the BFF if you.
So
an Irby mech then?
I want to talk a little bit about inspiration because
yes,
obviously I think a lot of these characters were rooted in something, whether it's something you've seen before or something you were thinking of. Like obviously you got some Macho Man influence, Bryce. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. Very much Macho Man.
And you said as much, so it's not like I'm surprising anybody with this
That
information.
was
But like
known information.
Right. So did you go back and like look at anything he did before, or are you just going off like your memory of Slim Jim commercials?
I didn't get this way by not eating Slim Jim. So that was pretty much it. Slim Jim commercials, past memory. I do have some friends I'm going to reach out to, also including you guys, about what kind of things made him incredibly enjoyable to watch. That way I can get better into it and take it to make it my own.
Mm-hmm. Anyone say, "Oh, Marcus"?
Yes.
I was sensing some really classic heelish work coming out from you, from like the greatest bad guys of all times, including your opening line.
Oh yes.
Saying your name, very much could have been an MJF or a Paul Heyman kind of thing.
Oh yeah, me and I was kind of talking about it last night with my brother, who's also a huge wrestling fan, and we were like, "What do we want to do? What sounds fun?" And like the old school heel vibe definitely hit me in the exact right way. And the Steiner, being a Steiner, really helps. I love seeing all the Steiner hype in chat. Thank you, my family thanks you, and we're excited to ride this wave all the way to the
Steiner
top.
hate in chat?
No, it's Steiner love.
No, that's a low blow.
No, just that's what a true heel would do, though.
It's very
He's
good.
really getting
I
into
really
the
like
spirit
it.
of being a.
I'm sorry. Murky Worky, Barnaby Theodore Steiner, 931st in line for the seat of Steiner. Just gonna put that out there.
I love the "it doesn't matter" who he was. That was
So, as you can probably imagine, we've encouraged our bad guy characters to talk a lot of shit to chat too, because
absolutely
you're the audience that hates them, and so they're going to hate you right back as much as they can.
It's gonna hurt. I'm just gonna tell you.
So how's the tag team division coming?
I'm
glad you asked.
We have plans for a tag team division. We're not gonna open with it.
Yes, but we're definitely going to be moving into
I like
a tag
plans.
team division.
Yeah, there will be multiple belts eventually.
Yes,
Championships available.
The further we move in, the more we're going to expand out all of our mech wrestling options to include things that aren't just mech wrestling, but you'll have to wait to see those.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And of course, the heelish characters are going to be the only ones with access to any kind of actual weaponry, because they're going to be hiding small lasers in their elbows and stuff. I mean,
Dirty tricks. I mean, it is mech sports entertainment, and BFF is the premier league in mech sports
I
entertainment.
did get clarification and acknowledgement that I am allowed to perform some form of a low blow on mechs.
Yeah,
so I'm doing great.
yeah, we've got a couple of ideas for how to perform heel maneuvers like the low blow and the eye poke,
And their ability to do these things is going to be intrinsically tied to you.
What would be our equivalent of steel chair?
we've actually been considering just like a
Bleachers?
25-foot tall steel chair.
Giant steel
Do
chair.
it. Do it.
In addition, there is almost always something that a multiple-ton, incredibly strong battle mech can pick up and beat another mech with.
Like a
These
leg.
things will happen.
Leg.
Arms fall off. all the time.
I'd have to be a very
Battletech
big ladder.
TLC, that would be a hard one.
There are great things. There are large rocks. There are trees on the ground that can be uprooted.
Yeah, we don't have any plans for a ladder match because everybody's pretty much got jump jets on this show.
Yep,
It's a
jump
really
jets
big
are a
ladder.
big thing.
But we definitely have battle royal and
Oh, yes.
strap match, things like that. We're gonna be doing gimmick matches. Don't
There will
worry.
be all kinds of gimmick matches.
Like
We've got
EMP
some
nuts.
crazy plans.
EMP nuts was
EMP nuts is
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad they mentioned EMP as part of that whole wheel of calamity.
Yep. It's something that can happen.
That can happen. And that would be entirely up to you. I mean, you can buy yourself a spin on the wheel of calamity. And many things in the wheel of calamity will change. It's not going to be a set wheel. Different things will come up for different matches.
Scorp Noir, me too.
Yeah, this is going to be a one-for-one
Same.
perfect simulation
Same.
of wrestling. So
So
we're going to learn
much.
everything about
Samesies.
wrestling through mechs.
Well, everybody's here either, because of wrestling or because of Battletech. Or
Yeah.
because they're just awesome actors.
That's true.
We're not going to say who that is, but
But we're
he's
going to
right
bring it
there.
all together. We're bringing all of it together at one.
so yeah, you're going to learn something about wrestling and about Battletech all at the same time.
And how ridiculous all of us really are.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a factor.
I said Scorp Noir.
Okay, that's what I thought. Didn't want to say it. Didn't want to seem stupid.
I'm
okay.
I'm
with
going to
seeming
intentionally
stupid,
say it wrong
clearly.
from now on.
Scorp no ire.
Or at least I would if I were totally a heel character.
What? I didn't miss the first part of your sentence. Need to
I would
look.
always say the name wrong.
Oh,
We talked about inspiration. So you're doing some interesting things. You have
I feel like a little bit of Howling Mad Murdoch, which is
Oh, yeah.
as featured on my
T-shirt, yeah.
T-shirt, and then a little Mr. Sacco kind of thing with having kind of an imaginary friend to talk to.
Right.
I've always dug that kind of stuff.
For Larry Dixon there, modifying the Wheel of Calamity is actually will be available as a store option. Don't worry, you will. You don't just have to take a spin. If you really want to pick something off that reel and really want to pick who it affects, that's going to be an option for you.
could they do the thing like on Wheel of Fortune where they take out one of the pieces and stick a new piece on?
There's going to be some fun options with the Wheel of Calamity.
Nice.
Some fun options. It's a lovely little prop device. It's sitting in my living room right now.
Should be fun.
It's going to be great.
We've got interchangeable little panels in it.
They are all dry erase.
Oh.
How many titles do we have?
Are they dry erase with color?
It's a black wheel, and the dry erase is whatever colors we want to show up on a black spinning wheel.
Cool.
We will be starting the season with just our Universal Champion title, but as we progress into it and explore more competitors and more, there's going to be tag team titles. There's going to be a variety of things that get added in as we go along.
And yet we will have real life prop belts.
Yep, I'm in the process of the Universal
Yeah,
Champion
we're still-
belt is getting custom made.
We're still designing the BFF logo, so
Yep, it's when the logo is done, the belt will be custom made just for this.
so who are our commentators?
Well, that's going to vary depending upon any given show. For example, when Luke is here as Mr. Monahan, he is a commentator when he is not the boss.
like old school Vince McMahon.
Oftentimes, some of our competitors might be a guest commentator on a match or even a guest referee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that could possibly go wrong, and they could interfere and affect the match at all.
You know, I'll volunteer for that. I'll volunteer for that.
I trust you.
And we've also got some guest stars who will be joining us over the season, who will be guest commentators
Yep.
and guest performers as well.
But we're
So
not
we
going to
can see
say
them.
who all of them are yet.
No.
Even though that's exciting.
It is really exciting.
It is
but we
very
can't.
exciting.
I can't.
We got Batman.
Yep.
Batman's gonna come in.
The real Batman.
The real Batman, not
Not like last time.
Yeah.
Maybe a little like last time.
And can they knock out when there's a guest referee? I would expect things to go awry.
Strictly by the
Also,
book.
we do have plans for a wrestler named AC10, which I think is great.
Yes, we do. There is an AC10 wrestler. There actually exists.
We just got to get somebody to play them.
Yeah. Oh, it's already done.
Do we have entrance music for anybody?
We are working on all of those.
We've got a
have
great big file of stuff that we're pulling out
Everyone
right
will
now.
have their own individualized entrance music.
Lyrics?
That's right.
Quite possibly.
Entirely possible.
Fantastic.
We're going to include all of the lovely tropey things that you love. from wrestling, all of the lovely
And
things
all the
from
studio,
Battletech.
the Solid Steel Corporation is going to be our main sponsor, provider of solid steel chairs, solid steel stairs, solid steel ladders.
Are they related to Scott Steele?
Ooh.
That would be hilarious if he ended up being like the heir apparent to the solid steel fortune.
Who knows? That may come up in a season. You
Long
never
lost
really know.
nephew.
Yeah, do a storyline where you become a sudden bazillionaire and kind of do a Brewster's
Well,
Millions.
you buy the
turn.
company. You can buy the company out from under everyone.
Will there be Trons?
Trons?
Well, like in WWE, they used to have what they call Titantrons.
Oh, right, yeah.
But you know,
I
montages. I don't know
believe
how you would do
I
that,
believe the
but-
Titantron will be here sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Oh, they thought of everything.
I think we're gonna call it. We might call it the Atlas-tron.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Can we die?
It's harder to die in this mostly because we're not using guns right away. But death is always a possibility.
Death is
That means you get
100%
punched in the head.
possibility. It
Dead.
could happen.
Yeah.
Severe injuries will happen.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
They have our mechs are gonna have a lot of protections in the cockpit area that you don't normally see in mechs to keep that from happening often, but it's still totally a possibility.
Because each one of these performers is worth a small fortune to Mr. Monahan, the owner.
And F. Lunara, there, as far as what generation of mechs will be around, we are.
There will be a variety of generations, but the current era will be 3061, and each one of these mechs is a 100% custom job.
But that also gets to mean that we get to use tech that wouldn't be available to normal military or inner sphere or even clanners because we get to be kind of a testing ground for a lot of those prototype parts.
Yep, guinea pigs. You know, and make sure it works before they ship it out to the front lines.
So we've got that going for
I'm
us.
not out for blood. I was actually just selfishly worried about
That you would
myself.
that was the old Battletech show. That was where you did have to selfishly worry about getting killed all the time.
All the time.
This is supposed to be just fun every time.
Okay, good.
And we won't actually be dividing them into weight classes, so you will get to see a medium mech take on a heavy mech. It will happen.
With melee?
So then,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So then there could be handicap matches.
Climb up there.
That doesn't always mean that the medium's at the disadvantage there.
Yep, that's really going to depend upon the type of match and what's involved and all the lovely things
but we
that
have-
each individual mech can do.
Chad wants to give me a whip, by the way.
Oh, what? No? Well, we all want to give you a whip. Like
Yeah.
we all want to give each other. Yeah, it's
We're
great.
gonna be
Night voodoo.
as soon as we go off stream, we're gonna just all take turns whipping each other.
That sounds like it's gonna go well.
Yeah,
Yep, there'll
it
be
always
things
does.
like handicap matches and a variety of other
What's that?
things.
They're like 2-on-1,
Oh, okay.
as you were calling it earlier, a threesome,
I did not.
three-way,
That was not me.
I said hot three-way. I did
hot
say
three-way.
that.
That was
A hot three
But it was in reference to something else.
an Irby class, like an ultra light kind of class. We are going to be using like super light mechs for a couple of things. Not necessarily for just fighting.
No. But we'll get into those as we progress and introduce more.
But of
events.
course, we're gonna have like a 5 Irbies on one Atlas type of fight. That's good. You've gotta have the opening match to clear
Without
the room.
guns? Are they going to have no guns?
Nobody's gonna have any guns.
Yeah, this season you're not going to see much in the weapons department, except for maybe some of our dirty cheating.
Oh yeah,
heels.
some of the bad guys get
Some
that.
of the dirty cheating heels might pull out a small laser in close combat.
I might
Or,
be cheating, but I'm not dirty.
Or
Jack.
get somebody in their signature bear hug, and they're like, "Oh, that looks legal," but little do you know that they just like deployed 14 machine guns on their
Oh, well, I
torso.
wouldn't do that.
They're big Larry lovers, worry not.
Well, we didn't say no dad puns, did we?
Well,
there'll be lots of dad
well,
puns.
I'm
on the
James
show.
on the show. But yeah, big Larry lovers, worry not. You may see your friend again. I mean, it's an Atlas with jump jets and an axe. You think we're not going to use it?
Yep, you're definitely going to see all kinds of fun stuff. And for anyone who knows the game rules, knows that just because you outweigh them doesn't mean you're going to beat them.
Yeah, it also, and yes, Lumiere, it does mean we're probably going to keep the movement rates fairly high.
Being as these are custom designed mechs and the vast majority of them have 0 tonnage devoted towards weapons, that means a lot of
it means
tonnage
we can-
devoted towards other things like really, really big engines.
Yeah, it means that we can make them real fast if we need to.
Really fast mechs.
And
I mean, particularly when we get into the medium class, you have some of the fastest mechs in the Battletech universe going to be taking place in this field.
Is charging going to work like it does on the board game? Or?
Very much so.
Okay.
Charging someone is a very viable, very devastating tactic to use, especially if you're fast.
There's a multiplier with how far you go and
Oh,
how
yeah.
much
Oh
you
yeah,
weigh.
yeah. It's
It's
just
really good.
it can really mess a guy's day up.
Particularly in the lighter mechs versus heavier mechs, it's a great equalizer.
Yeah, part of the reason that we're doing the whole no guns thing and is focusing on these rules you don't get to see a lot of because people aren't using these tactics.
Those guns are fun.
Yeah, because guns are fun.
Well, Total Warfare, if you are a Battletech player and you don't own that book, you need to go out and buy that book. That is probably the greatest thing that they've put out for the tabletop game and the history of Battletech as far as I'm concerned, and I've been playing this game for 30 years. There are so many things available under the Total War rules that were never available to do before. Amazing things. Did you know that mechs actually can jump off of a high elevation without jump jets? This can be done. Totally legal within the rules. Did you know that mechs can sprint besides just walk and run? That's right.
Well, that's in the video game.
Do you know that mechs can ignore terrain and elevation changes if they want to risk falling on their face? Absolutely. All of these things can be done.
Wow.
All of these things that a lot of years of Battletech have not allowed or just not had rules for, they've taken all the time in Total Warfare to put these into quantifiable rules. Most of them really easy to use, really fast-paced, and make sense.
But not, I mean, it's not stuff that comes up all the time. It doesn't get used all the time. I mean,
No.
I get why it's not getting used as much as it could because we're really busy running around and shooting each other. A whole
Absolutely.
bunch.
I mean, if you have a Gauss rifle, it's awfully silly to run up and choke slam a mech.
Look, Larry wants the Full Metal Challenge style obstacle course match.
Quit reading my notes,
Yeah,
Larry.
we're already, it's happening, man. We got you.
Quit reading my notes.
The way I understand is that if you can imagine it, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Maybe races.
Oh yeah, races are a thing.
Is it races or braces?
Races.
Racing. So you
Yeah,
can
mech
race.
racing.
Can we punch people while we race?
What? Why
That sounds
wouldn't
great. No, that actually sounds
Why
great.
wouldn't you be able to punch people while you're racing?
Okay, good. It's my kind of race.
They do that in the Tour de France, I think. So.
Of course they do.
I mean, how else do you expect to win?
Your hands are free.
If
You
they
go
did,
for it.
if they did the Tour de France with giant robots instead of little 10 speeds, they would probably punch each other.
And trip each other.
They hit each other
Yeah.
with baguettes while they're riding.
So yeah, we're really excited about all the wild,
Not
and
even
crazy
full-size
stuff.
bags.
No, just little baguettes.
Yeah, really excited about all the wild and crazy stuff. Death from Above, the tactic, not the show name, will be considered a tame tactic in comparison with some of the things you're going to see in tabletop here.
Yeah, we're
It'll seem rather,
gonna rip it up a little bit.
it'll seem rather terrestrial to just jump on a mech when you could do all kinds of other
So
things.
next week, since we went through promos today, and everybody, great job. That was
Yeah,
so
these
cool.
were phenomenal, guys. Those promos were
All right.
Yeah,
amazing.
that makes me excited to watch the show.
Absolutely amazing.
Next week, we're gonna be probably playing with some robots, though.
Next
I
week
should
you
bring
might
some?
get to see some robots. You might get to experience a little bit of the hot seat challenge going on.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to bring robots then?
If
I
you're
would love
coming,
that.
definitely bring robots.
We'll need some sample ones to throw in the ring.
Yeah, bring some robots, and we'll
We might not go full matches, but we're going to get to experience some of the
do a couple
the
rounds
hot
of
seat
combat, see
challenge.
how it works, how turns are gonna work, just rushing into and out of the cockpit.
So we can show
Pretty
you
fun.
how fast-paced we can make this game, which is notorious for having really slow turns.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make them super fast. It's gonna be great.
Fantastic.
Plus, all those one-on-one matches will probably help. Anyway, that's probably. I'm pretty sure that's all we've got for today, right?
That is.
That was Promo School. These are some of our actors for Big Stompy Robots. The Battle Mech Fighting Federation is going to be a reality sooner than later. So stick around. We're going to be doing training like this every Saturday for the next few weeks, and we'll be fully showed right around March. So can't wait to see you there.
As soon as we have an official date, we will let you guys know, and we'll
The
be going
MOD.
full
I'm
steam.
gonna do an S. Steiner.
Steiner.
But thanks for watching, guys.
I'll try and tone down my character for next time. He's a little intense.
I don't know. I don't think toning down is the right way to go on that one. But I want to thank you all for joining us. Make sure you tune into the Zombie Orpheus channel on Monday. Catch a little Masters of the Metaverse. The
Yeah.
Planet Metaverse Invasion story arc continues. We got Zoe Game Nights on Thursdays. You can't miss that. And then more Big Stompy Robots practice coming next Saturday. Thanks for joining us, guys. We love you all. We'll see you next time.
Kairos
Good
Pod.
night.